This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, September 25th. So glad you could join us. I am Mary Claire Williams. 1 in every 3 Barbadian children are obese, and the government says it will do all it can to reverse the worrying trend. This assurance from Minister of Information, Broadcasting and Public Information, Senator Lucille Moe, as she addressed an orientation on childhood obesity prevention for media managers. It was hosted by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Moe says government is preparing to roll out a plan to ensure that school children benefit from healthier meals.
The Ministry of Education is in the process of making it compulsory for all school cafeterias to serve only healthy meals. This decision was made after it was discovered that most secondary school menus are comprised of white potato fries, burgers, and fried chicken, fried livers, and necks and gizzards, and many other unhealthy foods, all of which are contributing factors to this worrisome problem. Previously, while there have been several draft policies on school menus, the policies were not enforced. However, at a seminar last week, the Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Santia Bradshaw, spoke about the initiative being pursued involving a food and nutrition policy for both public and private nursery, primary and secondary schools in Barbados.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, Michelle Daniel, says in light of the growing problem in Barbados, all stakeholders must be enlisted in the fight. Next week, the Barbados Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition will roll out a new initiative in 6 pilot schools to help build a healthier school environment. Daniel is confident it will lead to positive change.
The work starts in earnest with the implementation of a ban or restriction on the sale of sugar-sweetened beverages in those schools. The policy implementation will be supported by the required education and advocacy work, as well as the development of strong, healthy clubs also within those schools. We are also promoting greater accessibility to water, and the Barbados Muslim Association has kicked things off with their drive to ensure that every public school in Barbados has at least one water cooler.
Reparations must be included in the ongoing debate on the Medicinal Cannabis Bill, so says the spokesman for the Ishiruganem Council, Adonijah. He was speaking on Tuesday as the Joint Select Committee examining the bill continued consultations. Adonijah pointed out that the Rastafarian community has long suffered because of their beliefs, and it is time to make the wrong things right.
Government needs to acknowledge the injustices, atrocities, including death, that Rastafari has endured for the same cannabis plant that are now being seen as a huge financial opportunity. The leaders of Antigua, Dr. Gaston Brown, and St. Vincent, Ralph Gonzalez, have been commendable in issuing apologies to the Rastafari communities in their countries for the human rights violations which they have endured. We have had nothing of the kind in Barbados, although Minister of Culture and the Creative Economy, John King, has made a call for society to embrace those of INI faith. These two leaders, Messrs. Brown and Gonzalez, have demonstrated reparatory justice through ensuring that Rastafari farmers do not have to pay for a license to cultivate cannabis. They simply have to register. And that is the policy that ICAR is calling upon this government to adopt. We have suffered enough, and that must be addressed.
Adonijah also made a strong case for government to allow Rastafarians to cultivate cannabis without licenses.
If we can go by the experiences of our neighbors, licenses will be prohibitively expensive, placing those with access to large sums of money at a distinct advantage, and we are very aware of the tier system proposed. ICAR sees clearly that this government's interest is in monetizing cannabis. If the plan, as it seems it is to produce pills and capsules, among other things, that is fine for those that want that. ICAR is not interested in involving itself in the taking out and putting in of elements of cannabis. especially since most recent research shows that the fullness of medicinal benefits is to be best found in the whole plant, without any subtractions or additions, as the Most High created it.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Root Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back to regional news. A team of morticians in the Bahamas is calling on authorities to speed up the identification of bodies recovered following the passage of Hurricane Dorian. They tell ZNS News this is necessary for grieving families to get closure.
They work in the business of death, but for morticians Denley Penn Mackey and Wendell Dean II, the death and devastation brought on by the Category 5 megastorm Hurricane Dorian is something neither was prepared for. Penn Mackey, the proprietor of Evergreen Mortuary, says the stench of death was strong and bodies were everywhere trapped under debris. She says the situation on Abaco was chaotic, something she and a team of morticians on the island attempting to recover unprocessed bodies tried to bring order to.
There were a few persons that were in the morgue facilities there, and there were also some bodies that were placed in body bags on the floor and also on the processing table in the prep room. Inside the morgue facility, and they were badly decomposed, and they really shouldn't have been in there.
Nearly 3 weeks after Hurricane Dorian, the official death count for Abaco and Grand Bahama remains at 53, and while Penn Mackey says those numbers will undoubtedly go up, she feels there are many bodies officials have not been able to recover because of the lack of heavy-duty equipment to remove debris. Dean, the funeral director at Emerald Memorial Mortuary, says the number of bodies morticians processed on Abaco was in the mid-30s. He expects, like Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, years from now, there will still be bodies being recovered. Still, he says due to the storm surge on Abaco and Grand Bahama, many bodies may never be found.
On the international front, a 5.8 magnitude earthquake has killed at least 38 people and injured hundreds in East Pakistan. The epicenter of Tuesday's quake was close to the city of Mirpur in the Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Pakistan's military said relief teams are taking tents, food, drinking water, and medical supplies to the worst affected areas. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I am Mary Claire Williams. Good evening.